Hi everyone, Vickie Verley here, Rock and Roll Prophetess, and we're going to take a look at the new moon in Libra chart. I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the tarot scopes, and they're just about ready. I still just have a little bit of editing to do. I'm going to put I got a whole bunch of stuff I'm going to be posting tomorrow. As Mercury goes direct, I'm recording this on the 21st, and then the 22nd, we're going to have Mercury go direct, and the cardinal ingress, the autumn equinox. So, that's going to be a good day to post everything anyway. So in the meantime, I thought, well, let me get this other chart done and then we'll be all caught up to date, okay, everyone? So this is September 30th, 8:11 p.m. Eastern, but times will vary. And it's a new moon in Libra conjunct Jupiter. So this is some really nice energy. This is really some nice stuff that we can finally look forward to. Is it making any other aspects? Not really. But this is good enough. You know, this is some good stuff. I guess it's a loose square to Pluto. I guess you could say it's squaring Pluto. But I want to focus on this positive stuff first, because Libra, 7th house, relationships. Great time to initiate positive vibes, you know. This is a time for some positive vibes, which is sorely needed. You know, we really could use some positive vibes. We really could use some peace, love, and understanding, right? With that's all about the realm of I was going to say Jupiter, but it's Libra energy. So this new moon, new beginnings, launching a new thing, launching a Libra type thing, launching partnerships, initiatives, cooperations, partnerships, all these sorts of things. And it could be very, very powerful because not only is it the Libra new moon, but you got that Jupiter there. So you're not going to have this for 12 more years. This is you're not going to have this new moon with Jupiter conjunct for 12 more years. So it's like make hay while the sun shines. Use this energy wisely. And by then Mercury has gone direct. Like I said, Mercury's going direct tomorrow, the 22nd. So there's so much positive energy, and that's what we really should be focusing on. That's where we need to shine our light. The Venus has all the girls. All the girls are lined up over here. I've been talking a lot about the Juno-Lilith conjunction, and now we've got Venus joining in there too. And Venus being the ruler of Libra. So Venus is joining in with these girls here. So we've got all the different... You know what this totally reminds me of? You know what? One thing before I'm skipping around, I know I start getting a lot of information. It's like I got to try to get it all out. Sometimes I talk fast because I'm trying to grab it all before it goes away, right? We've got 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. So this 3 thing maybe is somewhat of a theme, huh? I don't know, I'll have to come back to that. But what I was going to say, these 3 girls together, those of you that are familiar with the tarot, the 3 of Cups, I wonder if I could pull it up really quick, just in case you're not. 3 of Cups. And also... Oh, yeah, 3 of Cups. That's what I mean. I love Google. Did you mean 3 of Cups? Why, Google, yes, that is exactly what I mean. Anyway, so here they are. The 3 girls dancing together. The 3 cups. And it's pumpkins and stuff, too. It's this time of year, you know. I didn't even realize that when it reminded me of it. But now that I see the card in front of me, and, you know, this is like the fall harvest in the... So this is a really cool card, and I would say, I never did this before, but I feel like this card totally represents this new moon and the energies around it, because we've got the 3 planets, the Sun, Moon, and Jupiter. Oh, I need to get the other one up here too. It's a little tricky. There it is. You know, these 3 planets, and then we've got the 3 women over here. So I'm gonna, you know, the 3 of Cups is a card of celebration, joining together, happy times, toasting your good fortune. You know, this is a great time for gratitude too. Toasting your good fortune. I think that's really a key phrase with this new moon. Look at the bright side of things. Look at the cup half full. All this sort of thing. I think Venus coming in here, and it's, what is it, trining? Yeah, it's trining the Neptune in the South Node. So I think it's going to give even more of an emphasis on this feminine, the feminine icon, the feminine, you know, how we view women, how we, you know, the iconic views. I'm trying to say another word, but I keep saying iconic, archetypes, the archetypes, thank you. You know, the feminine archetypes, that's the word I'm really trying to say. And I think there could be some understanding. You know, with this Neptune, it was still involved in the square and everything with Saturn. I did have some more insights on that as well. If you've known, because Neptune rules the media, okay? Neptune rules cameras, films, and everything that we're doing now with, you know, cell phone videos and all that stuff. And, you know, this authority thing. So it's coming up about, you know, these shootings. It's coming up. And it's being caught on camera. So you can't be an illusion about it anymore. Oh, that doesn't really happen. Oh, come on. No, there it is, right in front of you. It's happening. And it's challenging. It's making a square. It's challenging the powers that be, the authority. You know, there needs to be revisions regarding that. Also, this other thing I was thinking about it was with that pipeline thing. Oh, sorry about that. The pipeline thing, the water. Neptune's the water. And you don't see that on the mainstream. Mainstream media has controlled a lot of things for a long time. You know, this could be the authority figure too. And whoever owns all the television stations and whatever. And, you know, there's this water thing, and the Native American are trying to stop it and everything. And it's all over social media, you know, but it's not, you don't see it. I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of mainstream news. I usually catch a little bit of the mainstream news, though, because I always watch Jeopardy. I gotta keep, you know, I love my Jeopardy. I love my Alex Trebek, so, and that comes on right before it. So often I'll just turn that channel on while I'm, you know, finishing up dinner or whatever, and then, you know, wait for Jeopardy. So I do catch bits and pieces of the mainstream media. I don't, you know, actively try to tune in and watch it, but I do see it fairly often, probably a few times a week. I'll see at least some of it. And, you know, they're not talking about that pipeline thing. They're not talking about it at all. You know, they're trying to control and say, you don't matter. Like the Native American, your water doesn't matter. Or Flint, Michigan, your water doesn't matter. You know, there's a lot of things, and racial is strong. I'm not trying to deny that one little bit. That is so strong. So there's so many things that we're just like, well, you know, this is the people that control it. We're the powers that be. We're not going to focus on it or show it, you know. Or even with Neptune, other than water again, you know, you could be talking about, you know, all these things that's going on with polluting the waters. So it's taken into the hands of the people too, which, you know, Pisces can be kind of that vibration as well. One other thing I wanted to say about this Neptune, it rules drugs. You know, it rules drugs. It rules not only illegal drugs, but legal drugs. It rules all drugs. So there's a lot of stuff coming up about that too. You know, these big drum companies like the EpiPen thing. You know, they're going to healthcare for profit. You know, when they charge crazy money for these pills, and people have to try to go to Mexico or wherever to get their prescriptions filled and whatnot. So this is coming up too. This is being challenged. And the drugs on the street. You know, these heroin epidemic and everything else that's going on. You know. Oh, who cares? They're just a bunch of junkies, you know. They don't matter either. So the junkies don't matter. Black lives don't matter. The Native Americans' water don't matter. Flint, Michigan's water don't matter. Well, no, they matter. And authority's not going to tell us anymore, you know. This is the Saturn thing. This authority is not going to... People are, you know... I'm hearing taking it to the streets. You know, the Doobie Brothers song. I think it's Doobies. But... they're not, you know, this isn't standing anymore. This is being challenged. And Neptune also just rules everything that's been trying to be quiet, secrets, swept under the rug, painted an illusion about. You know, there's been things that we've been painted an illusion about. You know, or just like these people that are longing for, with the South Node here, right? That's the past. And people who are longing for the 1950s when... the cleavers, you know, it was the beaver cleaver, and that was a, you know, and that wasn't, I mean, I wasn't alive then, but that wasn't how life was. And it was an illusion. It was illusion by mass media, television and mass media, and the people who run that was painted, and people bought into it. And there's, you know, or just these wars that we get into, and these illusions that are painted. And, you know, I feel like it also, there's so much lies going around on social media, so much lies. I mean, and it's all, every time I see one, and I don't even look them all up, but if something seems just so outrageous and all these people are reacting to it, sometimes I'll look it up. And you know, it's always been fake, you know. And it's always put there to incite hatred and incite anger and get people hating and get people in opposition and get people fighting, right? So it's that divide and conquer thing again, too. The other thing is with the healthcare and the drugs, that's a grand illusion. That's a grand illusion. But also back to what we talked about last time about the savior. All these drugs are going to be your savior, and then they turn out to mess you up even worse half the time. I mean, lots of them aren't. Lots of them help you, but not all. And the other thing with the Neptune and the drugs, too, is the psychoactive drugs, the pharmaceutical psychoactive drugs. The happy pills, the Ritalins, all that sort of stuff. That's also an epidemic, too, People are, and people are hooked on painkillers, and people are on, antidepressants, and, it's pop a pill, and then everything will be, it's like numb out. Just numb out. Don't really go in there, Chiron and the South Node, and really heal the truth of the wound. Just numb out. Cover it up. Cover up, take a pain pill and cover the pain instead of trying to address where it's really coming from. So that's all coming out of this. This is all kind of coming to a head. And those are some other interesting points about that. This I keep wanting to say the three sisters. Isn't that a thing? I know there's the seven sisters, isn't it? There's the Pleiades. If anybody knows, let me put it in the comments. But I keep wanting to come back here and talk about three sisters, like the three sisters. Like it is some kind of thing that maybe I've heard somewhere, or it's is it a book or something? I don't know. If anybody knows, again, point it out. But sisters, when you think of sisters, it's sisterhood. Women not fighting each other, women not judging each other, because we're competing for male attention, because we need a provider to take care of us, so we have to compete with one another for, this is all changing too, this empowerment of women. And for you guys out there, I'm not a man hater. I love men. I'm not a man hater. And again, I've mentioned this before, it's coming with Libra, it's going to be coming into balance, but prior to the patriarchy, we were under a matriarchy. If you read, what's those books? Vickie Noble. And she talks about all the old, I think it was Vickie Noble, all the old goddess statues, and they just came in and destroyed them, because they were conquering and taking over. So it was a very feminine goddess culture prior to the patriarchy. Those old, you've seen them, the statue, the round women with the large breasts. I don't know if I could pull up one of those. If I think of it later, if I have to edit this, I'll throw it in. But you can look it up. And then it became the patriarchy. And now it's not like, oh, women are going to take over again. No, that's not what it is. The age of Aquarius is about all. And with this Libra energy, it's about coming into balance. It's about all being equal, not one ruling the other. And that goes beyond male and female. That goes to racial. It goes to any kind of discrimination, Everyone is equal. Should be. Under the eyes of the law, right? Which Libra rules law. It's the scales of justice, too. All right, what else is going on here? It's squaring Pluto. It's kind of loose, but this stuff is sextiling Pluto, too. And Mars is kind of be getting up there and hit Pluto, too. Mars has moved out away from Saturn, so I think that's kind of nice. They need a little space here. But then it's going to come in contact with Pluto, so whew. That's pretty intense as well. And it's in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn, the ruler of Saturn, does not like change. Capricorn, Saturn, 10th house, right? Does not like change. It's old school. It's the long-standing rules and regulations, and our forebears, our forefathers, and these are the rules, and I'm the authority, and you're going to listen to me, no questions asked. Because I said so. That's what I think of Saturn. Because I said so. Like, shut up and do what I tell you. Well, no. We're not going to shut up. We're going to take film. We're going to post it on the internet. And we're going to show exactly what the heck you've been doing here. You're not going to people aren't getting away with it anymore. I don't want to just be negative, though. I'm just thinking a very positive aspect of this thing, and with the Pluto involved too, is I could see great creative stuff coming forth from this. Bringing thing and spiritual things, new spiritual teachings for sure. If anybody got downloads on that Pisces moon. But things that are in the ethers, things that are in the spirit plane, brought into reality, which Virgo energy is totally reality too, brought into the 3D reality, being able to pull it down and make it tangible. I had another right thought and then I skipped it and then it's gone again. Dang, it was good too. It was something about this psychic spiritual stuff and bringing it into the reality. Oh, well, maybe it'll come back. Oh, these deep wounds. Having remembrances of where these wounds might really come from. You know, instead of popping more pills and, you know, even if it's past life, you know, it could be a past life. And if you're not into that, then, you know, whatever. I'm not trying to force you to believe in past lives if you don't. But even childhood stuff, you know, even earlier in your, you know, your own life, or it doesn't have to be childhood, even just when you were much younger. I had a big awakening thanks to a Pisces friend who, about some issues that I've been going through, and I just never, and it's here in Mercury, it's coming out of my mouth constantly. I'm constantly talking about it, but I just never put it all together. So there could be a big awarenesses about that kind of stuff with this aspect. And with the Libra energy, you could be willing to break down and give in a little, you know, and think, well, God, you know, maybe you could like look at it and say, God, why was I being so fixed, or why was I being so one-sided, or how have I been one-sided, you know? Because if you look at it that way and admit it, if you're really interested in healing, are you interested in healing, or are you interested in proving that you're right and somebody else is wrong? So therein lies the big question. Because if you're interested in proving that they're right, you're right, and they're wrong, and you know, just keep right at it. But if you're really interested in some real healing, there has to be forgiveness, there has to be understanding, there has to be enlightenment for growth to occur. And this stuff is spiritual growth for sure. You know, this could be some big spiritual growth stuff, these big squares. And this too, again, all the women joining together, these sisters. The sisters in balance, the sisters in harmony. And with Scorpio, it's going to involve sexuality. It's coming in, you know, it's going to come in. Women have for so long too have been, it's not so much for the younger generation, but it's in our DNA almost, you know. Oh, we have to play coy like we don't really want sex, and oh no, oh, let's wait till we get married and all that happy horse shit, you know. It's just like, women are sexual beings too. And it's not something to be ashamed of, it's not something that we have to, you know, it's to be embraced. It's to be celebrated. Like the Three of Cups, where'd I go? Yeah. I love that this card is the fall. I think there's some big significance to this card coming into my mind, and then not even realizing that it has pumpkins, maybe on a subconscious level. But if anybody gets any more insights into that connection, I'd like to hear about that too. So it's a time of the feminine. You know, the Libra is Venus, Jupiter is feminine, the three sisters are joining together here, the feminine energy, and the male energies that were joined together here are coming apart a little. Yes, Mars is going to come by and get Pluto there, and there could be some uprising or some stuff happening at that time. I wouldn't be surprised, but for the time being, the feminine is ruling the day. And the positive aspects of the feminine archetype. The nurturer, the mother, the creator. Giving birth. What are you giving birth to? 7th house Libra is about partnerships, cooperation, love, marriage, teamwork. All this sort of things. Balance between me, the 1st house of me, myself, and I, and 7th house of the other. Finding a balance, striking a balance, compromise. So that's, you know, at the root of it, that's what this Libra new moon is all about, I would say. Yeah, there's other things still happening and still looming, but I think for the time being, it could be calm. I think peace could be calm. I mean, we're probably going to get another big flare-up when this Pluto Mars gets with Pluto over here, but for the time being, Venus is ruling the day. Venus, ruler of Libra, and the new moon and Jupiter is ruling the day. And Venus is about love. It's a goddess of love. I mean, there's other, there's always negatives, there's lazy Libras, I'm sure you've heard that, and inability to decide sometimes, indecisiveness. But for the most part, it's about good stuff, Venus is a very positive vibration. And, she came through and helped Jupiter, she ushered Jupiter into her sign. And it's like, okay, dudes, I gotta go help these ladies over here. So Venus is really kind of working her magic, I feel. And there's a strong emphasis on the Venus energy, which we could use some, So good things to do on this new moon. How can I be kinder? How can I have more understanding? How can I show forgiveness? What can I do to help? What can I do to help somebody? Instead of pointing a finger and saying, look at how screwed up they are. Well, how can I help them to heal and not be so screwed up and stuff, right? Okay? Okay, I've been working my butt off. I'm going to be debuting a whole bunch of new stuff tomorrow, so hopefully you guys will be up for that and ready. I did want to, real quick, be sure to check out my new site. Everything's up here, home about books, divination tools, videos, music, art, mandalas, readings, donate, contact. And if you scroll down on any of the pages, I have a daily animal totem card. So if you guys are into that animal totem, there's an animal totem here that comes up daily. And look, it's, I was just saying I've been working my butt off. So it's kind of cool. It's sort of there. I've had, and a moon phase too for all you astrologers there. Yeah, I have had some synchronicities. I haven't been checking it every single day since I implemented that thing, that the daily totem card. But I have been checking it, and every time I've checked it, it's been synchronistic. It's turned out pretty cool. Okay, everybody. So here it is. New moon in Libra. Venus is ruling the day. Be kind to one another. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate, and thank you for everything you do to support me and my channel. It's all so appreciated. Liking, sharing, commenting, all that stuff. Have a great new moon, and I'll talk to you soon.